diving in. Get ready, my soul. I'm diving in to the deepest kind of love, to the sweetest kind of life. Get ready, my soul. Everything I've ever done, everything I've ever seen, everything I've lost or won, everything I've ever dreamed has brought me here to the present moment, here to a new beginning here, and I'm seeing life so clearly now. Get ready, my soul. I'm diving in. Get ready, my soul. I'm diving in to the deepest kind of love, to the sweetest kind of life. Get ready, my soul. 'Cause here I go, deeper, deeper, deeper than I've ever been before. Here I go, closer, closer, closer to my sacred source. Here I go, deeper, deeper, deeper than I've ever been before. Here I go, closer, closer, closer to my sacred source. Get ready, my soul. I'm diving in. Get ready, my soul. I'm diving in to the deepest kind of love, to the sweetest kind of life. Get ready, my soul. Get ready, my soul.
So good morning. Good morning. Let's hear you. Good morning. Yeah. I'm Reverend Sharon Dunn Oliver, your senior minister, your spiritual director, welcoming you here this morning. And Larry isn't here today because Larry has hurt his hip, twisted, and so I'm going to ask all of you to hold that he has complete restoration of his spine and feels wonderful immediately.
Yay.
So we will definitely keep Larry in our prayers. And demonstrations. Are there any demonstrations this week? And what is a demonstration, I say? Is when we have either answered prayer, or, well, it's always answered prayer, or we have an intention that we set in motion and it actually happened. Emma's got one.
Well, last weekend when I talked to Ruth, it sounded like the wellness fair was maybe not going to happen, and I went, but now it is, and it's doing better, and
yes.
there it is.
More vendors, and if you're on social media, please boost those posts on social media and get your friends who are artists to come, or if they have a small business, or if they just want some exposure. And we really want people to come and see our space. We're creating a community center, not just a spiritual center, but a community center for teen groups or Toastmasters or theater groups or groups of like mind. So we want people to come. A lot of times they'll come to our events and I didn't even know you were here. I did not know. So the last thing about the demonstrations is our puppies are doing better this week. William and Winston. And the new saga, they are feral, and this is day 41. And they are actually coming up on the couch, and one of them is letting Larry touch him without darting away. So that's progress. They're also jumping up a little bit to get a treat. We've tried to give them a treat and pet at the same time, and that does not work. So we are doing couch and cuddle, where when they go in their crate, I catch them. And against their will, take them to the couch. We couch and cuddle. And they get a total body massage, and they stay with me without darting away. And when they realize they are free to go, they just stand and jump off the couch. They don't run for shelter. So we are making progress. Yesterday we socialized them because we were told that we had to, and it did not work well at all. They were not interested in our company nor their dog that our company brought. So we've regressed, and I won't be doing that again for a while. So don't visit. Let's say good morning to each other. We do that with a namaste greeting. The divine light in me honors the divine light in you. And let's say good morning to each other.
The divine light in me honors the divine light.
And our vision, say with me, our vision, we are a welcoming sanctuary community where all are accepted, valued, and supported in the global family. And our mission, we inspire personal and global transformation through the teachings of science of mind. And our purpose, in joy and love, we connect in service to all life. Before I bring Peter up, Peter Rolitas, our practitioner for the day, and an amazing ambassador to our center. I think he stands on the streets and goes, come over here, you should see this place, it's wonderful. I'm so impressed. But I also want to talk a little bit about our guest speaker who has generously given her time today. She is from CSA, which is Centers for Spiritual Awareness, quite a ways away. And Peggy Tillery, Reverend Peggy, is, if I had one word to say about Peggy, it would be grace. And if I had two words, if I got to have another word, it would be wisdom. And I'm excited to be here to listen to her give our message today. So Peter, come on up, do our invocation, take us deeper, and then we will have a meditation, and then we will have the infamous Peggy giving our talk.
Good morning, everybody. I'm so happy to be here and to open us with an invocation. So recognizing that one power, that one presence, that is so huge, so immeasurable, that it holds the entire world within itself. That power that pours itself into its creation, which is the world, and to us. And what it pours into itself and into us is its essence, which is life. And I recognize this truth, this power. And I know right now, between the music and the message, that we are going to leave here today having received exactly the perfect message that fills us up and takes us through the entire week till next week and beyond. So it's with gratitude that I say, and so it is. Enjoy this
In
meditation.
step one of the breathing space, becoming aware of the present moment in its fullness. By deliberately adopting an erect and dignified posture, whether sitting or standing. Allowing your eyes to close if that is possible or appropriate in this moment, otherwise keeping them open. And in either case, resting in an awareness of your inner experience, opening to it and asking, what is my experience right now? What thoughts are going through the mind? As best you can, noting thoughts as mental events, perhaps even becoming aware of their content in words. What feelings are here? Turning towards and opening to any sense of emotional discomfort or unpleasant feelings. What body sensations are here right now? Perhaps quickly scanning the body to pick up on any sensations of tightness or bracing. Now in step two, gathering and redirecting your attention to focus on the physical sensations of the breath, just breathing itself. Moving in close to the sense of the breath in the belly, feeling the sensations in the abdominal wall as it expands with each in-breath and falls back with each out-breath. With full awareness, following the breath all the way in and all the way out, using the breathing itself to anchor you in the present moment. And now, in step three, expanding the field of awareness around your breathing so that, in addition to the sensations of the breath, it includes a sense of the body as a whole, your posture and your facial expression, how they feel from the inside. If you become aware of any sensations of discomfort, tension, or resistance, experimenting gently with breathing into them on the in-breath and breathing out from them on the out-breath, perhaps feeling a softening and releasing with each out-breath. If you care to, perhaps saying to yourself on the out-breath, it's already here. Whatever it is, it's already here. Let me feel it. And now, as best you can, bringing this expanded, more spacious and accepting awareness to the next moments of your day, whatever circumstances you find yourself in, as it continues to unfold.
Good morning.
Miss Reverend Peggy. Had quite the morning this morning, including my printer not working. That's why I got my phone too.
Yay.
So, are you ready?
Yes.
Are you buckled up?
Yes.
Got your seatbelt buckled? Okay, because we're going back to the future. And I love that movie from the 80s. I don't know if everybody saw it or remembers it. But, we're introduced to the main character, Marty McFly, who's this young man who has this crazy scientist for a friend called Doc. And Doc has found a way, he thinks, he hopes, found a way to go back or forward into a different timeline. But we get introduced to Marty and his friends and his family, and he's clearly irritated with his parents. They're just, not anything that he was particularly proud of, especially his dad was such a pushover, and his best friend Biff was always, being mean to him, and he never stood up to him, and Marty was just really, he was angry about that. So he gets back, he and Doc are supposed to go back to 1955, he ends up back there by himself through some circumstances, and he finds his parents there as teenagers. And he knows that they're supposed to get together, but Biff is interfering every chance he gets. And so he knows that he has to do this work of getting his parents to get together, because he has this picture of himself as a child, and it begins to fade. When they separate and they aren't coming together, he starts to fade in the picture, and he knows that if he doesn't get them together, he will cease to exist, basically. And he and Doc, the 1955 Doc, get him back to the future, where he finds a lot of changes have taken place. His dad is confident. His mom has lost some weight. They're playing tennis. They're happy. They're healthy, all because he went back to the past and made a simple change to make sure that they got together. And, sometimes going back in time can be helpful. It can be useful. Now, we can't do it like Marty did. We can't physically go back to the past, but we can look back and review those relationships and those circumstances and those things that happened to us that maybe we're still holding on to. So, in truth, the movie Back to the Future did not inspire this talk. It was actually astrology. And whatever you may think about astrology, it has been around for thousands and thousands of years, and it was developed by our ancient wise ancestors who knew so much about astronomy, and they watched the heavens every night, and they took note about the different relationships between the planets, and they took note of how people responded when there was a full moon or a new moon, and all of the energies that go on with the planets. And so right now, the planets are aligning in such a way that we have an opportunity to look back. And this is the quote from Lauren Bevan, whose website is Hair in the Moon Astrology. Between now and November, December, the simultaneous retrogrades of Pluto, Saturn, Neptune, Uranus, and the two dwarf planets, Chiron and Eris, on the powerful 0 degrees reset points of Aquarius, Aries, and Gemini, are opening a rare doorway for you to revisit, rescue, rekindle, or restore anything that is unfinished or incomplete. Currently, life is so fast, is so disoriented, that there's no time to integrate, let alone remember, finish, or return. But here's your chance. This is nothing less than the grace of second chances. So 4 planets and 2 dwarf planets will be retrograde at the same time. That is a rare occurrence. Evidently, it's even rare for planets to be in retrograde, except for Mercury that's in retrograde a lot. And they'll be retrograde on the powerful 0 degree reset points of the same signs, Aquarius, Aries, and Gemini. That's a rare occurrence. And they're entering these 3 signs at the 0 degree reset point. So each planet moves through each sign. Each sign is 30 degrees. And so when you have 12 signs, that's 360 degrees, which makes the circle of the zodiac. And the first few degrees, and especially 0 degree, is considered energetically potent. So it's really strong. So what is a retrograde? It's a little confusing to try and explain, but retrograde is when the planets look like they're moving backward from our vantage point here on the Earth. And that's because of their orbit around the sun, and it just looks like it, but they're still moving forward. But our ancestors thought it was a good time to look back, to take stock, to go back and rescue and renew and rekindle what we may be carrying from the past. And then I found a quote this morning from Diego E. Berman, PhD. As we say goodbye to August and step into the first week of September, the air feels charged with a deeper sense of reflection and completion. It's a month that asks us to lose threads and bring closure to patterns that have run their course. It's about gently pausing, looking back, and honoring the journey that has shaped us. This reflective tone is amplified by Saturn, the great teacher, starting retrograde in Pisces tomorrow. It's a cosmic invitation to surrender and release old emotional patterns, spiritual illusions, and outdated structures to help us dissolve those things that no longer serve us. This may feel like an inner cleansing, almost as if we are walking through a gentle rain that washes away heaviness and brings clarity. So the idea of looking back and tying up loose ends has been on my radar lately. And these two quotes really generated this talk, because there must be something that I have to look back at, some more work there's always work to do, isn't there? We never seem to arrive, at least not yet. I'm sure it will happen. Then I know most people are not excited about looking at the past, especially if it was difficult or you're carrying something that is heavy on your heart. But I think if we don't, we'll continue to carry it. You know, we all carry those wounds, those traumas, that guilt, that pain that we experienced as children and adults. And we've embodied them. We've come to believe those things that we came to believe about ourselves, that we heard our parents say it to us, that we're not good enough. That's the main one. I am not good enough, smart enough, cute enough, whatever it is. I'm just not enough. Which holds us back from expressing our full divine self. So this is a time for reflection. And I think when we start moving forward again, when all these planets start moving forward again, we're in for a huge leap in consciousness. So we are not our experiences. We are not our traumas. We are the emanation of the one love, the one power, the one God. And going back to the past can be scary sometimes, but I think the benefits far outweigh any fear. And we can set an intention for it to be quick and easy. We don't have to wallow in anything. We don't have to stay there for months and years going over things that happened. No, we don't have to do that. And when we set that intention and go through the process of looking at the past and letting it go and doing some forgiveness work, we can turn into a brighter, more joyful future. When Einstein gave lectures at U.S. universities, the reoccurring question that the young people asked him was, do you believe in God? And this was always his answer. I believe in the God of Spinoza. So who was Spinoza? He was a 17th century philosopher who believed in one God, and that God was in everything. That was pretty crazy for the 1600s. I'm surprised he wasn't burned at the stake or something. And for Einstein, it was a new thought. He was in the time of the New Thought movement. So here's a short excerpt about a talk Spinoza has with God about forgiveness. Stop asking for forgiveness. There's nothing to forgive. If I made you, I filled you with passions, limitations, pleasures, feelings, needs, inconsistencies, free will. How can I blame you if you respond to something I put in you? How can I punish you for being the way you are? If I'm the one who made you, do you think I could create a place to burn all my children who behave badly for the rest of eternity? What kind of God would do that? What kind of godparent would want us to burn in hell because we made a mistake? So we can live that life of love. We can live that life of who we are, emanations of love. God is love, and so we are love. So I know it doesn't look like it on the outside when we look at what's going on in the world and with people on the big stage. But everyone has forgotten. We've all forgotten who we truly are. And that's why the centers like this are around, to remind us of who we are. Our parents didn't know who they were. Their parents didn't know who they were. And so all of these things have been handed down generation to generation. Our parents did the best they knew how. Their parents knew the best they knew how. And we still have religious leaders out there who are trying to scare us into, going to hell, or if we make a mistake or do the wrong thing. And I just really think that's time that stopped. It's just crazy making. It's like a toxic virus that we've all been exposed to. But we have a cure, and the cure is the power of love. And with love, we can gently forgive ourselves, and we can gently forgive other people, and treat everyone with loving kindness and compassion, which is especially hard when you're on the road. It's hard for me to be compassionate with people, and I rode with someone yesterday, and she said, what was she saying? She was saying, oh, the God in you just made a mistake, or something like that. She was trying to express her feelings in a nice way, instead of using a few choice words that we wouldn't say in a church like this. A dear friend of mine posted this on Facebook. Aluna Joy Yakin. Nothing is missing within me anymore. I have completed collecting my fragmented self that was ripped apart because of a multitude of things this world does to a newly arriving soul, like an unsafe childhood, a bad relationship, etc., etc., where our true self never had a safe place to grow and blossom, to be seen, heard, or honored. Our true self, that divine self, was never seen or honored or heard. We didn't feel safe to do that growing and that blossoming. We hid. We hid that part of us. It's really tragic, really sad that happened, but it happened. And we can always turn that into good. I always believe that everything happens for our good in some form or some fashion. But the good news is we can nurture and grow and blossom now. Maybe we weren't able to as children, maybe we were, that's great. But it's never too late to give that love to ourselves. To give to ourselves what our churches and our families and our friends couldn't give to us, or we couldn't give to ourselves. Because truly, we have to remember there's nothing to forgive. Yes, we made mistakes. So before we can move forward in a future filled with more love and joy and creativity, it really is important to kind of become untethered from those past experiences, to free ourselves. And we may not think about those things very often, but we still carry those memories and those the energy and the holding, the heaviness of holding all that energy, those grudges, the blame, the anger, the judgment. It's like we have a backpack, and every time something happens, we put a stone in this backpack. Oh, they did me wrong, and put it in the backpack. Oh, my parents were terrible, I'm going to put it in my backpack. And I carry it around with me. It keeps us from living a life of complete freedom. So we can erase the charge of these memories. We'll still have the memories, but we can erase the emotional charge of them. and start working on those limited beliefs and notice them when they come up. And then we can face the future with a clean slate. We can clean the whiteboard. Clean slate of our mind and our emotions. You know, no one is without sin. And you know what sin means, right? It's an archery term that means missing the mark. We've made it into a normalized, oh my God, sin is awful and I'm going to burn in hell word. But that's not the truth. We've been lied to, yet again. And now that word sin has become normalized. We've all missed the mark. No one is immune. The only people that I can think of that were immune or are immune are those avatars and gurus that spent hours and weeks and months in meditation. And they were able to rise above the chaos and the confusion. The good news is we don't have to spend hours and days and months and years meditating to get to that place. It's no longer necessary. We don't have to pull out every single stone and go through it, all the stuff. We don't have to unpack it stone by stone. We can just turn the whole backpack over and dump it out. And just say, I forgive it all. I just forgive it all. You know, years ago, I used to listen to a meditation by Louise Hay. I used to go to sleep to it. And it's about connecting with the inner child, healing the inner child. And I want to lead us in a short, simple meditation that's based on what I remember from hers. So I just invite you to take a breath. Just go within. And think about the adults who raised you. Imagine them as little children, wanting to be loved, seen, heard, and honored. Think about all of your ancestors going back lifetimes that just wanted to be loved, seen, heard, and honored. They were just looking for love and acceptance. And now imagine yourself as a little child, just wanting to be loved, heard, seen, and honored. This child still lives in some hidden corner of your psyche. Bring that child down into your heart. Maybe even see it sitting in your heart. Tell that child that no matter what happened to them, you will take care of them and keep them safe. Reassure that child that you love them just as they are, just as God loves them. So taking another breath and coming back into the room. You know, we can parent that child. That child is still within us. There's still some places where it's feeling some pain. And if you listen closely, you can hear their messages. You can either hear them in your head or you can journal them. I found it a really powerful healing practice for myself. And even today, I have to tell my little Peggy Ann that she's okay and that I'm here for her. So reviewing our lives and clearing the past can be liberating. It can also be scary and overwhelming. So if you experienced trauma as a child, I mean big trauma, or even as an adult, if you were in a terrible accident or almost died, I mean, those are traumatic experiences, and it may take some time. I just invite you to be gentle with yourselves, maybe seek out some help to support you through the process. And just always remember that God loves you just as you are. I found this forgiveness process, but unfortunately I get so excited that I forget to write down where I found it or who wrote it. I'm sorry, I can't tell you that. But it's actually a process that can be done at the time of the full moon, which is evidently a good time to do forgiveness work. So after checking in with ourselves each month to see if there's something we need to forgive others or ourselves, is like cleaning the house. If you keep things clean regularly, it's so easy to keep it clean. So this is the formula for forgiveness. The full moon is when all our emotions come to the surface. So what are you going to do? Suppress them? Let them run you? Or process them? The full moon is the ideal time to access all your feelings and make peace with them. Normally that involves forgiveness. Forgiving yourself or someone else. The words of the full moon formula for forgiveness are very powerful. Read them often. If you feel them in your heart as you listen to the words, you will start to release the karma that binds you to the past and hampers your ability to consciously create your life. And so here it is. Under the glorious full moon, I forgive everything, everyone, every experience, every memory of the past or present that needs my forgiveness. I forgive positively everyone. I also forgive my past of past mistakes. The universe is love, and I am forgiven and governed by love alone. Love is now adjusting my life. Realizing this, I abide in peace. And that's it. It's like emptying your backpack and just forgiving it all. I've done a lot of forgiveness work in my life. My parents, my teachers, ex-partners. It's a process and a journey. But of all the people I have forgiven, the hardest one to forgive was myself. I don't know why. I hear so many people say that too. And yes, even I have made some mistakes. I know I look perfect, but it's just not true.
You did.
So some of you may be familiar with Edwin Gaines, who's a prosperity teacher, and evidently still alive, which I was surprised about. She talks a lot about forgiveness and prosperity and our relationship to that. And so I'm going to read what she has to say. Forgiveness is something we do for ourselves. It's truly like emotional house cleaning. Forgiveness lets us make room for the good we desire. If we refuse to forgive, we're clinging to self-defeating feelings such as guilt, shame, blame, hurt, and resentment. And when we do this, we cannot feel truly worthy of having the best that God can give to us. We have to learn how to let go of long-harbored resentments, recent irritations, or grudges, and finally just forgive. As with tithing, we must learn to completely forgive freely, joyfully, and completely. When you have a problem with someone, it's almost always because they are not behaving the way you want them to behave. Isn't that the truth? Yes. She says forgiveness is vitally important if you want to live a joyous, productive, creative, abundant life. And that lack of forgiveness blocks the good coming to us. It's almost like having, she described it as a block wall, blocking our good. And if you even take one block down and deal with it, and then take another block down and deal with it, your good will start to flow to you more easily. So she has a nightly routine. So that's really cleaning the slate. She asked herself this question: have I put anyone outside my heart today? And she says, I usually have. First, I forgive myself, knowing that I was doing my best. There's no beating myself up. Then I forgive them for whatever they did, knowing they were doing the best they knew how. So when we take the time to look back and forgive, the load that we carry mentally, emotionally, physically even, these kinds of emotions can affect us physically. We lighten up. We lighten up. And we begin to love ourselves more and more and more. And then we're free to love others. Because it really is true, that adage, that you can't truly love others until you love yourself first. Then we're free to step back into the future, a whole new person. Free to step back into a joyous, productive, creative, and abundant life. And who wouldn't want that? So let's take this message in prayer. Because I just recognize that one love, that one life, that one peace, that one harmony, that one joy, that one abundant source of all life, of all things that we live in, around, and through our lives. There's absolutely no separation between us and the one love. No separation between us and pure expression of who we are. And so I'm grateful for this information that came through me. I'm so grateful for all of the people that created the depth of understanding and that added to this talk through their quotes and their writings. I'm grateful for the energy that they put out in the world that helps so many of us. I'm grateful for this center and for Reverend Sharon Dunn for bringing us together in this beautiful sacred space where we can talk about things like forgiveness that can be hard. But it's so important to lighten up, to lighten up, to lighten up. So giving thanks, I release this word into the law. I know it's already done. It's already complete. And we can seal this prayer together by saying, and so it is. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Reverend, for your message and for
Yes.
feeding me. I just am
And it's
so
Louise
blessed.
Hayes' birthday.
Oh, it is.
Oh,
It's
it's
right.
today.
Well,
I
happy
didn't brought
birthday,
that.
Louise.
She's everywhere.
Wherever you are, my dear, bless you. So here's our time where we get to give back to our center with whatever you feel in your heart to give. Support us, keep the lights on. So there's a QR code up there. You can use that on your phone. You can also go to our website and donate that way. There's also an in-person basket going around, so you can use that. And so, let's see. I think that's, yeah, there's our abundance affirmation. Please say that with me. In consciousness of abundance, I give freely, knowing that I am freely given to.
I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so grateful for all that I have. I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so grateful. I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so grateful for all that I have. I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so grateful. I am so blessed.
Nice. So that was amazing, that talk. I love the backpack. That was beautiful. I love that very much. And we are, today's our last day for our packets. They're due today. So this is for round 2, for our round 2 of Gourmets for God. So if you're not familiar with, I think everyone here is familiar with Gourmets for God. So if you want to host an event, you can use this facility as well. I hear there's another game night happening. I'm actually going to invite some folks to it because that was so much fun. Not that I'm, what do you say? Competitive. No. So that's a wonderful thing. I'm going to pass this back for our guru here.
Ooh, time. Our class is meeting this next Saturday, and we're rounding the corner on being halfway through. It's based on a book that I wrote, I'm Here for the Bath, and we are looking at it as a community as what we want to offer to each other and other members of the community in challenging parts of their life, in as far as prayer. And we're going to come up with a nice format that we're going to be offering. So we're going to be doing that. And you can drop in. Feel free to drop in. And I will have books there if you want to buy a book and catch up. And please join us. Who's taking the class? Yeah. Look at that. All right. So we're enjoying ourselves, right?
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
And our guru, Susan, you have a new book of the month. Our newsletter comes out today. So the name of our new books, if you want to share that to everyone. Living
my life of joy.
a Life of Joy. Who would want that? Oh my goodness. That's our new book of the month. So you'll be hearing more about that from Susan on 4th Sunday when she gives us a synopsis. And remember, starting January, she will be doing monthly Book of the Month studies on the Book of the Month. Okay. And so our Spiritual Arts and Wellness Fair is happening. We have more vendors. We're going to be here. Larry's going to be cooking and nourishing food this time. I hear hot dogs were at a Spiritual Arts and Wellness Fair. It didn't quite fly, although everyone secretly really enjoyed it. And we also have our community outreach, and this quarter we are Run to Feed the Hungry. We are supporting the food bank, and they're running on Thanksgiving Day, but if you are not able to go on Thanksgiving Day, you can run anytime. We're actually forming a team, so if you're interested, let us know. You don't have to run, you can walk. or skip, or crawl. Okay. But we are supporting the food bank. And if you want to just sponsor someone, you can do that as well. So you can just hang out at home while we do the work. So it's up to you. Thank you, Ann Brooks, for being the director of our community outreach. This is exciting. We have Sue Fick in the house, who's the director of our animal kinship ministry. You're going to bring your animals to church or to the center on that Sunday, September 28th, where after service we're going to be having a blessing. So practitioners and ministers and laity will be blessing the animals, and then bringing the pictures and any memorabilia, collars, or anything you want to share and put on the altar for any of your four-legged family members, or two-legged, or winged, or slithering that have made the crossed over the Rainbow Bridge. We will be having a wonderful memorial celebration. You will be leaving with a gift. So be sure to bring your animals. No worries, not too big, not too small. We've had a pig in the pew. Someone mentioned that there has been a horse. We can bring anyone in through the back door, so be sure to participate. It's going to be wonderful. We do have some teachers in the room, I notice, and so we want to acknowledge our teachers for our youth and family ministry. And when the children are here, we have curriculum for them and great teachers who are going to give them a lesson in relationship to what we're talking about with the big folks in the sanctuary. But this also gives parents just a little bit of time to enjoy the sanctuary and the spiritual message and the music while their children get fed as well. So, and last but not least, we are not doing that again, and I'm going to pass this back to our beloved practitioner of the day, who's going to do some affirmations.
So affirmation for us. Can follow along with me. I am grounded in a love that knows no condition.
Love that.
And let's see. Okay, so let's see. We're going to do
Benediction time.
Yes. So
Everybody?
I want to say that we are a praying church here, and we have these prayer forms that you can fill out for us. We are so thrilled to get them. They're out here in the vestibule, and there's a little box you can check if you want the whole prayer team to get in on it, or if you just want individualized prayer. We are here for you. So please avail yourself of that. So, in closing, I am so grateful to be here and to experience the fullness that we have as a community. All our needs, our spiritual needs, have been amply fed. And thanks to our reverends here that have guided and supported us. And I am so blessed to say, and so it is.
So it is.
We have some goodies in the social hall that I brought, homemade for my sister-in-law yesterday,
Okay.
that are not on my diet, so I brought them here. So you would eat.
You're gonna run away.
My favorite part.
That's his favorite, that's his cue.
And just look.
That's why we
I'm going to mail that to you.